Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. There he is. Just give it a second. Just waiting for our guest to arrive here. There she is. Okay, Ruchira, we've just sent you a request. Just give it a second, everybody. How we doing? How's everybody doing today?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Ruchira. How's it going?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're connected. You are connected and we can see you too. It's a little bit of a delay, but everything else is all right. How's it going?
Yeah, really good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad for a Friday. Yes, that was yep. Sorry, I was looking in the comments. But no, everything's good. Everything's good. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's been a good week. Lot of positive stuff has happened. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm
Oh,
looking forward
amazing.
to the weekend.
Yeah, me too. It's been a long, long week.
Yeah, I was telling my wife earlier, I was like, I wish there was like a club or something to go out to because I really feel like dancing. But there isn't a club,
Oh
so
my God.
I had to settle for the kitchen.
I mean, the kitchen's a good replacement. How did that
It
go?
would, I mean, it was all right. I was dancing with my daughter. I was showing her how to two-step. She was following me a little bit. I told her to freestyle and she got lost. So it happens to the best of us sometimes. So there you go. Thank you for joining us on Hopes and Dreams. People who are new to the Millennium Project is a global community. It is a documentary project. We are we aim to normalize Black and South Asian relationships and to dismantle anti-Blackness in both our communities. So we create spaces for us to interact, chill out, learn from each other, fall in love with one another sometimes. So that has brought us to you, Ruchira. Would you like to introduce yourself to the community and to the crowd? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. My name's Ruchira and I'm a journalist. I cover misinformation and online culture online, and I wrote a piece for Vice in 2018, I guess, about my dating experiences online.
Cool, cool. Where are you from? You're in London right now, but where are you from originally?
I'm from India originally, but I live in Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And where are you born in India?
Well, I wasn't born in India. I was born in Doncaster, actually, in the UK. But my
Okay.
parents are from India.
Okay. Cool. 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 All right. So welcome. So okay. Cool. You're a journalist. I know you've written quite a few different articles and stuff that I quite enjoyed reading. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
In 2018, you were working at Vice and you wrote an article entitled "South Asian Women Like Me Still Face Subtle Racism on Tinder." So, what? Tell us a bit about that. What inspired you to write that story, that article?
Essentially, so I was dating in 2018, and some of the experiences I had were at the best, really good times dating, having a really good time meeting lots of people, and at worst, just some really bad kind of microaggressions. And I knew for a fact I wasn't the only person going through this. I'd heard this from friends, from like people online, and I knew it was a bigger issue, I guess. So I wanted to speak about it and kind of, break the seal over what was happening to lots of people online.
Sure, sure. And how long had you been using apps for before you felt inspired to write that article?
So I think I've been using them for like 6 months or so.
Okay.
And it was my first time using online apps. I was new to the game, I was new to Tinder, and it was just really shocking to see how normalized it was for lots of people to just kind of say, like kind of racist stuff and like, laugh it off or kind of think, it's flirting and it's okay to say that stuff to somebody.
And was this in like private messages, and was this coming from a particular kind of group or makeup of people, demographic of people?
Sorry, say that again.
So was it a certain group of people? Was it white guys? Was it black guys? Was it Asian guys? Who was
I, ha-
throwing these lewd
I
comments your way?
I have to say it was always white guys in my case. I obviously can't speak for
Yeah,
other people, but for me personally, it was always white men. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. And was it sorry, I want to dig into it too much, but was it just like kind of one-offs, or was it like you'd be having an in-depth discussion and there would just be kind of the lewd comment kind of thrown here and there?
Yeah, it was one-offs, I would say. I was quite lucky in my experience that, to be honest, it would be just like intro messages of people saying really weird stuff, so I would just swipe past. Or in one case, a couple people were kind of like, "Oh, I'd love to date a brown person. I've never dated one before," that kind of thing. And that, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So I think because you described it as I think you said, well, yeah, you did say, as a British Indian woman, dating apps are a minefield, from unsolicited dick pics to the insistence I look exotic. What was that like? What was it like to, I mean, you're in a space, you'd been there for a couple months time. Obviously you were new to it, and trying to, I guess, find someone to date. What was that like then to be thrown all of that stuff?
It was really demoralizing because I guess you're kind of navigating these apps, as nerve-wracking as it is. You're kind of putting yourself out there, kind of being vulnerable, just like throwing pictures of yourself and a caption to describe yourself, and just like, you know, take me, judge me, tell me if you want to date me. And then I guess on top of that, having your race just kind of brought into your attention all the time. It's just a lot to deal with, I guess. And it definitely makes you, I guess, super heightened about your skin color all the time. And that really is very unnatural and not normal, I guess, to go through.
Gotcha, because it was then, well, sorry, this is me making an assumption, just saying it, but it was yet another space where you were looked at by the kind of color of your skin, I guess, you know? Um,
Yeah, definitely. Like the lens through which you know, you're going to chat or flirting, it was who, like what skin color you were. It was just made very apparent, um, when it really shouldn't have been, I guess.
gotcha. So, and mentally, I mean, what was it like mentally for you, or what were some of the other things some of the women and people that you talked to said?
So yeah, mentally it was very draining. A lot of the women I spoke to kind of gave up on dating apps, on and for years, to be honest. And I think it definitely is a lot to put yourself through that and kind of know it's going to be very anxiety inducing. In some ways, a lot of people were like, "What's the point? Why am I doing this?" And that's a fair question as well. Like, I think a lot of women I spoke to go through that phase of kind of, um, weighing up what am I actually doing this for, and then go through the cycles of quitting the apps, deleting the apps, going back on the apps, and wanting to find someone, because that's the point of why we're all on there, I guess.
Mm, mm. What sorry, I guess I'm talking about you and like your friends, but like what other things were you like combining with these apps to try to meet people?
So the most recent thing I did before I met the partner that I have now, um, was I just quit the apps. I was kind of bored of them for separate reasons, and just I made a rule to myself to just date people who are friends of friends or who I met organically. Like I some somebody, I can't remember who it was. Um, I forgot his name, but he met his wife, and it was a really cute story in a cafe. And just having that kind of idea of just trying to meet somebody organically, I guess.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, without the super intention, like I'm gonna jump on the app to meet somebody, but randomly kind of being in the same space as them and just having to strike up a conversation or you know, shoot your shot, shoot a 3-point shot, or you know what I mean, half court shot or something like that. And well, well, yeah, I mean it is random at times,
Yeah,
and
literally
I
that.
think sometimes yeah, yeah, and sometimes you do have to, you know, really step out of your shell to, you know, be that person who maybe makes the first move. Sometimes, even when you may not naturally be that person.
Yeah, and also the worst thing about it is I am chronically not that person, so I don't know what came over me to think, you know what, I'm going to meet the first. So that was the thing. I get myself to do that.
Yeah. And what sorry, so like let's go back that 6 months when you were using the apps. Did you how many of the people do you think like you met with in real life, and what was that like? Was it like half of them were normal and people you could see yourself normally kind of associating with, or what was the split like when it actually came to meeting the people?
Kind of up and down, I guess. I can't really put a statistic on it. I wish I had noted this down. That would be really interesting. But yeah, I think maybe like 1 in 5 people would be somebody I'd be interested in. One thing that's quite interesting, I would say, is, and I think we spoke about this before, I think once I started putting up mental checklists of things that I wanted, I think, I don't want to say the caliber because that sounds really heartless, but the
Yeah,
caliber of people that I was meeting, for me anyway, the people I would get on with, it started increasing, you know? I
sure.
started meeting more people once I kind of built up a self-awareness checklist of what I was looking for. That happened naturally.
Gotcha. And what was your mental checklist? What were some things that were on there?
Um, I guess just kind of, this is trying to remember a year's worth of stuff. I think
Yeah, I'm like going
it's
back
hard.
3 years and stuff like sorry about that.
No. It's weird. My brain has just put it into some box right at the back. But I think honestly, it's just kind of trusting your gut. The thing that I really went with was if I get a weird impression from some, their messaging just seems kind of confusing. Just you need to keep going through it. You can just think somebody's easy. Somebody makes things feel easy. Just go along with that. If it's easy, it's good. You know.
Mm, Something that makes you feel
I
comfortable
think
and things like that. Yeah.
exactly. It sounds hard to kind of define what that is, but that really was what I went with. Just feeling comfortable, easy. I wasn't neurotic about it. That is something I associated with bad dates. If it left me feeling really insecure after, I guess.
Mm, mm. And gotcha. So you had this mental checklist, and once you started using that, then you found that things were easier. That okay. So what about I know the article was specific to your experience as a South Asian woman. Um, Quickly, did you speak to any other kind of any other people of color about their experiences? Was it
So
similar?
I didn't.
Was it similar across the board? Like, do Black women experience the same thing, and do you know, other women of color experience the same thing?
So there's actually been some really amazing pieces from other women, and I've spoken to them not for this piece because this piece was about South Asian women specifically. But yeah, I've spoken to other women who are mixed race, who are Black, and they've said the same thing. Honestly, I couldn't really say it's unique to me at all. That's definitely not the case whatsoever.
Mm.
One woman wrote an amazing piece for Vice a year before I did on being mixed race on dating apps, and she said the amount of fetishization. Sorry, that word is a stutter.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, it is. It always is for me too. Thanks for taking it. Thanks for taking it.
yeah, thank you. But yeah, no, she said that she got that in, heaps, and that particularly unique to her experience, and that was horrendous.
Mm, mm. All right, let me cycle back, then we're gonna come back to this. But so okay, right. So I'm married to South Asian woman. She's Telugu. She's from Guntur. I've met a lot of her friends. We've been together for a long time, so I know personally that within the culture, and not to like generalize or blanket it, that dating at a younger age, even sometimes at an older age, can be something that needs to be somewhat secretive. I mean, you're not like bringing people home willy nilly saying, "Hey, Dad, this is what's his name going to be? This is Jerome. Let's call him Jerome. This is Jerome." I was going to
Great
say
name.
Jim, but I wanted to say Jerome. Um, what what type of impact do you think that makes in terms of when you approach the online game and you may not have had a lot of dating experience in your life?
It's definitely difficult. I think I can only speak about my experience and friends, but I think it is difficult because there's not really the cultural kind of, well, acknowledgement that online dating is that normal yet, if you see what I mean. So
Mm,
we're still breaking down that barrier to be like, mum and dad, I'm on Tinder. I don't really talk about that with my mum or my dad.
mm,
Um, I think I think it is, it's accepted, but it's not really spoken about. There's a difference.
mm,
Um, so bringing someone back, if I was like, oh yeah, I met them on a dating app, that would still be a little bit awkward, I think. And it's fine, but I think it's just making those conversations more accepted by kind of breaking down that barrier and making it more normal. And I guess having those origin stories that are like, we met online.
mm. You know what? Like the funny thing is that like quite a few couples whose stories that we share here, it's the same. Sorry, they are saying that they've met online, right? They're saying, yeah, we met
Yeah.
online, we met on Tinder, and I'm just like, damn, damn, damn. They're like, oh, I met on Tinder. And I'm just like, okay, and it does normalize it to in a sense to say that you can find love and marriage and things like that. And it doesn't have to be shoddy.com, other people are,
Yeah.
doing it as well too. So um, good. So now we're switching back to what we're talking about earlier, and we're talking about other women of color and things like that. And, one of the discussions we have here a lot of times is a lot of people say, look, I'm looking at your pictures. Is the Blending Project just about Black men and South Asian women? Um, and sorry, I'm going to remember where I'm going with this. But yeah,
No.
so within there, yeah, so then there's a big conversation about, well, why that is. Why do you mostly see South Asian men with Black men, and you don't see a lot of South Asian men with Black women, right? Long conversation, rabbit hole. We're not going to go there. Within those stats, because I call them stats, there was a paper one of the gentlemen who owned one of these platforms put out, and in that he was saying that the people with the least, and you even talked about this as well too, with the least amount of attention or swipes or whatever you want to call it, were Black women and South Asian men. Um, and it kind of came out because I hear a lot of people throwing that stat out and talking about that. And I
Yeah.
was thinking about it the other day, and I was just like, all right, those platforms and who wrote that paper is predominantly white. So it's being looked at through a white lens. And all of a sudden they're saying this. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, well, if these people were in a completely different space, like say it was
Right.
an app kind of towards people of color or interracial dating or something like that, then people probably wouldn't, that same stat wouldn't exist. So I just thought, like, it's just, who's saying this? What the white man is actually saying that I'm unfavorable? Because I think it can be damaging in the sense that for people to see that and to hear that, and even going back to the mental health part of it, and you spoke about this as well too. Your activity was less when you're in Birmingham, but than when you got to London. You there?
Sorry, I think you just cut out then.
Yeah. So I was just saying, the last part I was just saying was that I was tying it back to the mental health, and then I was actually saying that you even spoke about this, and it was like you were more active when you got to London versus when you were in Birmingham, in terms of just like being active on the app or getting people who are talking to you or interacting with you. So, um,
Yeah.
I mean, I just, yeah, mentally it can be a bit challenging. Okay. What so what do you think makes a good or a bad app or a space?
Yeah, so I think what you said earlier was definitely really true. It's hard because I think you're right, dating apps are done through a white lens. I can't really pinpoint why. I don't know, who the creators are of these apps, but I
I
think
think they're
even
white people. That's why I'm saying that though. That's why I'm saying that. You there?
I think you can tell that as well because even the fact for ages, that Tinder had racial preferences on it. I think that's right. Or one of the big dating apps had racial preferences on it. These apps aren't built with the knowledge that, you know, that's just not a nice thing. People shouldn't really, be unchecking like all these races depending on what their preferences are. Um, I
Is
feel
that
like
how you
if some
feel? Is that how you feel about that?
I think so. I feel like it definitely I feel like that is problematic and I find that problematic for sure, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like that's a separate topic, but I do feel like the 100% I have an issue with the idea of racial preferences and, races that are discounted because you're not attracted to them. That
Gotcha. Okay. You don't want to go there though.
Sorry, I just
Uh,
realized did that even answer your question? I can't remember.
no, no, no. I was just thinking about that, and I know we didn't like really probably discuss that at all, but I was just thinking. I just found that interesting. Like, well, what is your stance? Do you feel that you like to be able to say, actually, I know what I'm looking for, and that is a person from this particular race. But I think you're saying that you just feel like it should be open, and I guess if you're not attracted to that type of race, then you're not going to actually connect with them.
Yeah, I guess so. I even question why you wouldn't be attracted to a race, That seems bizarre to me. I I feel like there's no way of going through that question without kind of having an assumption that a race is homogenous, And I think that's why I take issue
Mm.
with it. But 100%, I've always seen dating as super open. It's about connecting with people, and I'm obviously not unique in that, but yeah, I definitely take that to be problematic.
Mm. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. So yeah. So back to the app then. So what makes? Sorry, I was looking at the comments and stuff for a second. But so what makes a good app for you then?
Um, so one app that I actually really liked, but yeah, this was like a year or so ago, was Hinge. I actually really enjoyed Hinge only because I feel kind you can put more of your personality out there. There was answer three big questions, or put something that's like a joke, and you can kind of work out a bit more about somebody's personality rather than three pictures and a line comment about, I don't know, what music they're into.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
So Hinge was asking different questions and allowing people to respond to those questions, which I guess made you feel like you could get to know more about the person via that way.
yeah, and also you could tell if somebody was kind of interested in your answer because they could connect with your account based on one of those answers, respond to one of them and it would start a conversation as opposed to just being like, hey, what's up kind of thing.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, which is this shit intro. That's not very good.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Wave. Hi, how are you?
Yeah. Yo,
Um,
what's up?
okay. Yeah, yeah. What suggestions would you give to people about how they can be successful on online dating apps?
So I think even the words itself are kind of confusing because to be successful on an app, I think is just to look after yourself. Like I know that's kind of cheesy and cliche, but
No, no, no. That's
dating,
a good point.
yeah, like dating on apps is difficult. Like it's kind of hard putting yourself out there to be judged all the time and just like, like on a cycle of just being like, oh, people are analyzing me all the time. Um, so I also think just like having a checklist mentally of being like, if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, just block, swipe left or whatever the equivalent is now. Or just like, just knowing it's fine if you have a gut reaction to feel like this kind of encounter is making me feel uncomfortable. It's fine to just leave it there. You don't have to, go through it all, give people the benefit of the doubt. The whole point is it's on you to do whatever you want.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. That's good. Okay. What do you have any other thoughts, or is there anything what's it like now then? What are people saying now? I know you have a partner now, but what's it like now who you have friends that are maybe on some of these same apps, or obviously Corona's about and things like that. How have things changed now to where they were previously when you were on some of these apps?
So what I've heard is a lot of things are getting so much more intense at the minute. So it's kind of transformed from everything being super casual and like hookups being a thing to obviously if you're going to chat to somebody, you're in it for the long haul to meet them in God knows when, because we're in a lockdown right now, right? So it could be a lot of intimate long distance relationship stuff. Um, yeah, so I think these connections, if they're going to last now, are going to be very, very intense and maybe for the good, maybe for the worse. But yeah, it's a different style of dating in lockdown, I guess.
Okay, right. And you said intense. You broke up a little bit, but what intense in what way?
So people are doing a lot more kind of video chats and, like calling every day just because we're in lockdown and it's, super boring. And that kind of stuff is like long distance material stuff, like video dates online without having a person. And you're not going to meet them for months. So you're kind of in it for the long haul and it becomes naturally quite intimate quite quickly in a different way.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, because you can't see people, and it's all video. It's all video
Yeah.
chat, Zoom
Yeah. Yeah.
chat, and WhatsApp calls, and all of that stuff. So
Yeah. It's the
okay,
death of hookups right now, right?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Interesting though. I mean, I think people are really antsy to want to get out and about. And I was saying I want to get out and do a little dancing and things like that. And we're stuck inside and on these apps, trying to find people on these apps in this virtual space, without even mixed with that kind of random opportunity to meet somebody in a pub or a coffee shop or something, anything like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But saying that, I feel like the minute, the club's open, it's going to be anarchy and everyone's going to hook up with everyone. So that's going to be great.
Oh wow, Ruchira, thank you very much for coming on to Hopes and Dreams. We
Thank you for
really
having me.
enjoyed having you. Um, let's see. Any quick questions from the audience? Anybody in the audience want to ask any questions? Let me see if there's anything in here. Right. Okay. So yeah. So Ruchira, thank you for coming in. We appreciate having you. Loved having you in. Good luck with whatever you have going on there with your partner and everything
Thank
like
you.
that. And stay in contact.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been so nice.
Cool. Cool. We'll speak to you soon. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Cool. How'd you enjoy that, everybody? How was that? Yeah, good. Glad you enjoyed it. Pacific weddings. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. So let's just see here. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Somebody wants to. Let's see. So yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I really found that interesting. I think that we, and I didn't want to put anybody on the spot or anything like that. And people are probably going to disagree with me here, but the idea about being able to select your preference of what you're looking for. Um, I mean, I think it just makes it easier. And if you know what you're looking for, is it wrong for you to actually do that? But anyway, I'm gonna leave that there, right? Stevie J, I see you asking, I see other people asking. So what we are doing right now, we have launched our website as of about a month and a half ago. We are looking for 20 pilot users or 20 people to participate in this singles networking dating area of the website, right? So what we will do is we will have events, meetups, and things like that. But I want to test the app to make sure that it's working properly and giving everybody what they need and what they expect. Is it Tinder right off the bat? No, it isn't. So I want to try to make it the best experience. So if you are interested in participating in that, I'm trying to fill it with 10 women, 10 men, make sure the numbers are even, even number race proportion as well too, if possible. Please send me a message, send us a DM or email. Dre, you wanna have a quick chat, quick download? I think I have a couple minutes left on here. That's pretty quick. Let's see.
Whoa.
Hello. They got. Anybody want to jump on live with me? Quick chat. Okay. Let's get Dre in here for a second. So, just feel like a nice little download. It had a nice little chat. Went a little bit quicker than expected. Let's. Hey, Dre. How you doing, bro?
Good, man. How you?
Good, man. Good, man. What do you think about that? You like that chat?
Oh yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed hearing just like the dating life. Like when you've been out of it for so long, it just sounds so funny to hear stories and how that whole thing still permeates out there. Especially the whole I didn't know that you could choose a race on Tinder. That's some new shit. I've never heard that before.
I thought. So I haven't been on any dating apps, but I figured that was something that you could do on any app.
No,
And
that was
it
never
should be
the
easy because it's just like Excel, like a drop down to say, you know, I want black, Asian. Do you know what I mean? That's what my thinking was. So I
right.
thought that was always there.
Well, you know what's funny is like when you were just saying like it's good for people to have those preferences. And the first thing that came to my mind was most of us wouldn't be in these lesbian relationships had people done that, right? Because it's like I
That,
know like just like
that's a good
because
point.
I never considered South Asian women before I met my girl. I never even it wasn't even part of my brain because I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And that's what we were talking about the other day, right? That's what we were talking about the other day.
yeah,
And I'm kind of with you. I just hope that, or I wish that if someone was actually serious about trying to meet someone, that you're going to be testing, right? You're going to be tweaking it. You may actually say,
right.
you know what, let me go ahead and see what let me see what's going on over here for a second, right? Let me see who I might be able. Let me open it up a bit, right? Because I think that uh I don't know. I just think going in wide open when you can be thrown like the entire sea, uh, I don't know. Maybe it's an efficiency thing. Maybe it's a time type thing. But there you go. But that kind of goes into other conversations that we were talking about having later on in February as well too, right? Because we're starting to get into the talk about fetishes and things like that, you know? Like, and I see in the comments as well too, like V Proof Pack is saying, I love to date black girls, but something, right? There's no continuation to that. So is it problematic to say that I like to date South Asian girls, or I like to date black men, you know? Is that problematic? Is there actually anything wrong with that?
There isn't, but I think it also speaks to, like, you know, our own internal racism, and we all have it. Like, the more I listen to people, the more I talk to people about dating, we can't help it. We have hierarchies in our mind. Like, today I was actually reading this thing about TikTok posters. Like, people who are just white, like white girls, can just post pictures or post videos and don't say shit, but get more likes, followers than, let's say, black or other brown girls that do a bunch of stuff. So we already have it in our heads. I see white, I see right? So it's just like, so I would assume the same thing kind of happens with online dating, that people might not even think about it. Like, oh, I want a white guy. And that just seems normal. That just seems like this is what I should be looking for. And so they'll just dismiss a whole bunch of stuff. And it's until you meet someone face to face, you can get the person. Like, all right, how did you meet your wife?
I met Sveta randomly. So this was the thing, because I'm usually like well, I guess it does. Like, if I think about it, like, so I was randomly studying abroad, and Sveta's best friend lived in my dormitory. So she had came over for about 3-4 days. I was cooking in the cafeteria of the dorm, and I just happened to meet her. And that was it, random. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was only via her friends that I was able to that we met. Our paths crossed, you know. And that was it. Obviously, there were loads of there were some challenges and time and stuff that went by, but I just happened to be abroad. She just happened to be back home visiting a friend who just happened to live in my dormitory, and we happened to go to the pub and we met, you know?
And now, like, you know your relationship and you know your situation. Like, I want to say, I know for me, like, the way that me and my girl met, like, we met through a friend. And ironically, I saw her on OkCupid. I remember seeing that, like, years ago. I saw, like, her profile on there, and I only remembered and put it together after we started dating, like, oh, this is one of our mutual friends, like one of her friends. Like, oh, crap. And I didn't think it was an option. I just looked at her and kept on scrolling because I didn't think South Asian girls were an option. And I won't speak for her, but it's like, I think a lot of South Asian girls wouldn't think black men are an option. So would scroll right on by without even thinking about it. But automatically believe that white men are just something to have. So you know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm like, I'm very skeptical of online dating, big time.
Yeah, we got West Indian Jesus in here talking about man, OkCupid was late.
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, it was great for hookups. Yeah.
Agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
This is conflicting, man. But then to say say you wanted the filter on black women, South Asian women, and you excluded everybody else, right?
Oh, I mean, that's a tough one. I hear you on that. But I think ultimately, like, you're gonna scroll by those people anyway, like the ones that you're not naturally like into. So you don't really need to X those people out. I just think, like, it just feeds our internal racism when we do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I I guess I'm also just a big fan of meeting people naturally because that's what worked out for me. And when I listen to everybody else's stories, I mean, you have a better insight into how people meet than I do. But from what I see, like that gets posted, it's mostly people just meeting naturally, and it's usually the same pattern of I never thought this could have happened, and then now I'm in this great loving relationship, you know. Did I pause? I paused. Damn it. Let's do this.
The two.
Oh, there we go. I know. Wait, I'm messing up. Wait, hold on. Damn it.
Here quickly. I'll have a chat with one more person. Let's see if West Indian Jesus wants to. Yeah, I had bad Wi-Fi from the woman before as well too. So I'm just trying to see if we.
You see, is this working?
There he goes.
Hey, what up, homie? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, brother? You all right?
I'm doing well, man. I'm at work again.
That's all right.
Salute, salutations to everyone. How y'all doing? Good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever y'all at. Just hi.
Yes, Black Seinfeld.
Show
What are your
about
thoughts,
nothing.
bro? What are your thoughts, man, about the conversation we just had?
Well, it was hella relatable, man, because I used to be in those dating streams. I used to be in that
Dating streets. Dating
yeah,
streets.
I used to be in those OK Cupids, Match.com, all that. I used to be on those things, but let's just say I got into some trouble. You feel me? You know, I messed around a lot and I got in trouble and I paid for that. So, you know, I had to step away and do some self-reflection, if you
Gotcha.
will. So I had to just chill out. I was like a monk for like a year and no one believed me. No one had any faith in my ability to be celibate and, like, you know, just be on some full Avatar Aang monk mode. But I did it. And then after that, like, I stopped with the dating apps, bro. I stopped.
What was it? What was it like? What was your experience like before you got to this point where you had this reflection and stuff like that?
Well, put
The
it like this,
relationship that
right?
came out of it.
When I was growing up, I'm sorry, say that again.
Yeah, you were starting. I was just saying, what was it like in terms of the interactions, the type of relationships and things like that you were getting out of there?
Oh, so I was dating a lot of Black women. I was dipping into some white women as well. I wanted to go outside of my culture, see what that was like. Latinas. Yeah, I just wanted to try something different because I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn, so you know where everyone here is available, and it's a big melting pot. So everyone is able to, you know, pretty much mess around and do some things. So that's what I did.
Some things. Do some things now.
Do some exactly. And so
Ring
what
the
I've
alarm.
learned.
Ring the alarm.
And so what I've learned from the experience is I'd like to be with someone that is a bit more cultured. Because man, I've had some crazy white experiences, man. I remember one time I was in Long Island, right? And it felt like Get Out. I felt like that dude from Get Out. I was like the only Black dude, right? We went to this Mexican restaurant, right?
You're like, where am I at?
Yeah, bro. Dead ass, bro. I remember we went to this Mexican restaurant, right? And so besides all of the Latinos working there, you know, I'm the only person of color that's in there. So I'm looking, right? And I was telling my date, I was like, yo, you know, none of these workers are Mexican, right? And she's like, wait, oh my God, how do you know? And I was like, because I'm looking at them. They are not Mexican. Don't let this shit fool you. Don't let that shit fool you. And then what made it worse, like we were high a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of high, right? So the fucking mariachi band came, right? And they started playing music in front of like this white family, and they started playing La Bamba.
Yeah.
La, 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 la,
Yeah,
la,
yeah.
Bamba.
Yeah.
And like they started swaying and shit. Like the family started swaying, like no rhythm. I was laughing my ass off, and I was like,
too
yo,
much,
this is probably the whitest experience I've ever had in my life. Hold up.
What
Black girls ignore Indians. Do you not know why? Black girls don't ignore Indians, man. They don't. They really don't. Trust me. Talk to one, bro. Talk to one. You just have to have swagger with you, bro. That's all you need. You need that swagger with you. You just can't come up and be stiff and lame. You gotta be smooth with it. You need to have some swag with you. I'm telling you. Trust me on this one, man. I have faith in you. Prupak. I have faith in you, my G. You can do this. You just need a little bit of swagger to you. That's all. Maybe take a shot before you try to approach it. You try to approach or you know, slide in the DMs, you know?
Yeah. What about sorry, on one final note. So how has your preference changed from when you got to that point to when you've came out?
Damn, that's a good question.
Well, you said cultured. So culture doesn't go across the whole spectrum of color.
Yeah.
Are you open to all different colors and stuff? Gotcha.
Facts.
Okay.
Different colors, just not white. I'm good on that. Gotcha. Maybe Italians, because Italians can cook. Yeah. Anything but now white. I'm good on that. I'm okay.
You had your experience, huh?
I've had my experience. I'm good. I am good.
Gotcha. Black Jesus, Black Seinfeld, Black
Show about nothing. West Indian Jesus.
What was the new name that you're gonna have for the episode that we did?
Oh, Blindy Seinfeld. I thought it was hilarious.
Seinfeld.
Yeah. So yeah, let me explain quickly.
Give a quick plug of your show quickly.
Yeah, so I have a show. It's a podcast / radio show. It's called Black Seinfeld. It's the show about nothing. Just to be clear, I'm Trinidadian. My mom is Indian, and then my dad is Black. He's Afro-Latino. He's from Panama. So, you know, for the most part, I identify as Black, but I am Blindian. So the name of this episode that we were working on yesterday, I'm going to call it Blindian Seinfeld because I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. They'll be like, what happened to Black Seinfeld?
Exactly.
He changed it to Blindian Seinfeld for this day.
Blindian Seinfeld for today.
That's going to be your alter ego, bro.
It is. Hold on, Dre said something. Italians are still white. Of course I know Italians are still white. I was telling Jonah yesterday about old school Brooklyn, like old Brooklyn, like off the D line, off the Q line, off the R line, where it's like Coney Island and Brighton Beach and shit. I told them those white people down there, they wear their racism proudly. They are pro-Trump. They are all of that. I told Jonah about it, but I ain't gonna lie. I think, well, one, my name is Giovanni, right? So I get away with a little bit of stuff, right? I get away with a little bit. So they fuck with me over there. Still scared though, but you know, just a thing.
Giovanni, thank you, bro, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Much love.
Yeah, man. We'll catch up, all right? Thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for the support, man. Appreciate it.
Love.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Let's do one more. Do we have any women in the crowd here who want to group pack VPR pack? Let's see. Let's go. Let's see. Are you there, bro? Let's see. Let's have a chat with you. You've been having a lot of comments from the rafters.
Yo, bro. How are you, man?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much for
man.
this.
I was like, okay, man. He's got so many comments. Let me go ahead and check in here, man.
I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. You know, like many girls. I'm at Toronto, Canada.
Okay, TO 6, the 6, man. You're on the 6. T.O. Represent T.O.
Yeah.
And I've put some Drake
Yeah,
in
there are
a
like,
minute, man.
oh yeah?
Yeah. So go on, man. Tell me, man. Where are you from? What's your name? Tell me your story, man.
Yeah. My name is Rupak, bro. Rupak.
Rupak.
Rupak Singh.
Cool. Where you from?
Yeah, Rupak Singh. Yeah. From India.
Yeah, whereabouts in India?
In Punjab.
Okay, cool. Right. How long you been
Yeah.
in Toronto for?
For like 3 years.
Okay, cool. So go on, tell me, man. You say you're into black women, but
Yeah.
But what have
It
you?
was like I had a bad experience once. Like I came to Toronto like 3 years back, and I had a crush on a girl. She was a Jamaican, and I had a bad experience. Like we were initially friends at that time, but I went ahead to like propose to her.
Oh,
It was a short duration.
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry. You went to propose as in to marry her, yes? Correct?
Yeah. No, like something like for it was something like a love proposal, but not for a marriage, just for like initial step of having the crush and going ahead for a love. And then I didn't think of marriage, but like initially, like I was talking to her as a friend, and then I fell in love with her. It was a single. It was like my own. I'd say like it was my love. She didn't have love on me.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She didn't return the feelings backwards. Yeah, back to you. Yeah.
Exactly. So I did have a crush on her, so I decided to propose to her.
Sorry, hold on. Sorry. People in the audience are looking for a bit of clarification. When you say propose, do you just mean asking her to be your girlfriend, or you mean?
Yeah, girlfriend. Like girlfriend is the first step, and later on.
Cool. Because okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, and I think probably let's say 70% of the other people, if I'm saying propose, then that's to like usually ask for your hand in marriage. So cool.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. So you wanted her to be your girlfriend. She didn't reciprocate the feelings back to you. Okay.
Exactly. So so she was saying that she had bad experience from other Indian friends before, and it didn't end well. And she was like basically saying all her bad experiences with other Indian friends she met, she dated, and it wasn't a bad experience because like she was thinking that most of the Indians are like religious, like they're like Muslims. They have some connections with like so and so, like the terrorists or something. Like it was pretty weird to hear that from her. I did not expect that these responses, from her, especially like it was when I proposed her. She came to say all these explanations, but it's when I wonder, like, is that a stereotype of what all the people are having in North America, or something like we are scammers, like we are curries,
You mean the black women? Is that the black women's?
No, not black women, in like North Americans in general.
Gotcha.
General, they have typical stereotypes, like we are curry, like most of the Indians are scammers, we are religious, and those kind of stereotypes, right? What
I've heard some of them, so I know about what you're saying. So it was a bad experience for me, but still we are in touch though. Yes, I'm still in touch with her. But like she doesn't want me to be in her, like she want me to move on, Gotcha.
Yeah. And I did so there was another black girl as well. She was in my college, so this happened all throughout my college life, my 3 years of college.
Oh man, so what
I did
so your 3 years of college life, you've always been trying to
it was a disaster, bro. It was a disaster for me. It was a disaster for me.
Man, all right, so look, 2021, man, keep shooting your shot. Keep shooting your shot. And like the gentleman who was just on here earlier, West Indian Jesus, Blindian Seinfeld, aka Black Seinfeld, aka Giovanni, aka I'll stop there. Turn that L into a lesson, right? Turn it into a lesson. Figure out what went wrong, what didn't. I mean, I've heard the same thing myself. Obviously, I hear a lot of stories. Some Indian men have messaged me saying black women don't take me seriously. They don't think
Exactly, bro. That's a
that I
common
want a
thing.
relationship. They think that I'm just going to listen to my mother. So
No, that's a stereotype, but basically most of the Indians are like coming out of the thing, like they are going for like love marriages these days, because most of the parents back home, they expect to marry an Indian girl only, that's been a tradition for such a long time. And most of the Indians are coming out of the stereotype. They're coming out of the myth. They want to be independent. They want to find the right partner, because the right partner is not based on astrology. Because back home, the parents find the astrology thing,
yeah.
and these are all insane. It's 21st century. We have to move ahead of our lives, and we have to search the right partner. Only then our lives will be successful. Just not because she's an Indian girl, she has a wealthy background, giving some dowry doesn't help these days. These kind of things is typical myth and typical stereotype, but we are coming out of it. Most of the Indian guys, like most of the Indian girls,
Yeah.
are coming out of this
Really,
nest, and they are.
really good question from the audience here. Then, what would your mother say if you brought home a black woman?
Yeah, she'd definitely say yes. She does. My parents are like open, like they are not like so religious or something like that. My parents are very much open. Like they are welcome. The thing is that my girl need to take care of me. That's the only thing. Like
In what
like
way, though?
I'm not.
In what way? What does that mean?
Because like mutual understanding, mutual understanding, mutual respect, and all these kind of thing. And also further, like in future, if we have a family or something, like she should take care of the children. Like she can be independent as well. I'm looking for a girl like who's straightforward and everything. And definitely for me, like my definitely interest in black girls, because for me, I like them a lot, I'd say. So that's my only opinion, but I'm open to everything. And but the thing is that I did not get the right partner, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
We have a lot. There are a lot of people from the community who are in Toronto. To be fair, so hit DM me after this. Let's see, man.
Sure,
want to help you out. See what we can do for you.
And what's your name, bro? What's your name? Sorry about that.
Jonah.
Jonah. Jonas. Okay,
Jonah. Tell me your name again.
Jonah. Nice. Rupak. RUPAK. Rupak.
All right, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jonah. Much appreciated. I wish something like, I wish I get a black future.
Bro,
Jamaican
everyone's saying, man, when Corona goes away, you need to go to Carabana, man. Take yourself out to Carabana. Check out the scene over there, bro. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anthony. Nice talking to you, bro. Take care, bro. Yeah. Bye.
And we heard from Rupak, and we've heard from black males. We heard from South Asian males. Are there any women who would like to? We spoke to a woman earlier. I have 2 more minutes left. It's going to cut out on me. Yeah, that's why I said shout out to the 6 as well too. We have any women who'd like to jump in and have a quick word, who saw the conversation earlier today? Would anyone like to jump on and say hello? Anybody in the audience? I know we're gonna help Rupak out. We're gonna help Rupak out and get him in the right direction. Yeah, don't worry. We will meet you, Sean. Right, we're gonna give to a countdown now if nobody else wants to talk, and then we can, Lionheart 423, Karen, next time. Yeah, we're gonna hook Rupak up. I'm gonna help him out. Hello.
Hi there, Jonah. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on? Were you here for the talk?
I jumped in on like the last part of it,
Okay.
and I was like really pleasantly surprised to see Rupak's, like perspective on this.
Yeah,
And I'm very,
yes. So South Asian men, we would love to have more of you sharing your perspective, letting us know what the experience is like. We would love that.
yeah,
I think that the
yeah.
perspective is often, I don't want to say hidden, but it just doesn't come out in the community. Like, for people who don't know, the community is about 80% female, okay? 80% female. And I think you can see that when it comes out in the stories. Most often the time it is the woman who is usually sharing the story as well too. So I think, my team thinks, we think it would be so great to have South Asian men sharing their perspective and what they think, right? So I enjoyed it as well too. Any other thoughts from you, or?
No, I mean, well, yes, a lot. But I think this is a great start. And
Cool.
I would love to hear from more South Asian men, talking about wanting to stand up for interracial relationships. I think that's awesome.
Gotcha. What about, have you dabbled in online dating at all?
Yes, I have.
What are your
And
thoughts
it's
on it?
been interesting. What's that?
I think
I
everyone
have
would.
stories.
I think everyone would say that, to be honest.
I have stories.
Gotcha. Are you actively on them now, or?
No, I took a break for my mental health,
Gotcha.
because
And that's what.
I was on it. Uh-huh.
No, go. Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I was on it last year, during COVID, and I think COVID made things like a little bit, I don't know, like slower, weirder, a lot of indecision in the online dating community, I guess. So I just kind of backed off from it for a while.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So focusing on other things for now, other projects. I have a project in the works that I think Dre knows about it. I'll talk to you about it too, I guess, later.
Okay. No, I saw you sent me a DM, and it sounded interesting. And no, let's chat about it. Let's just take one comment. So what I find most interesting is that many of the couples I see posted, that is correct. That is correct. So I've seen that. Obviously, I edit the stories, so I know that a lot of people end up meeting on Tinder or whatever the app is, and I find it fascinating, really, because what we were talking about earlier, and I don't know if you're here for this part of the discussion, was these filters that you can put on in some parts of the applications, as into what you're looking for. Like, are you looking for black, white, South Asian, maybe Latina? And the first person I spoke with, who was a girl who was on for this particular piece, was saying that she didn't believe in that. I kind of, well, yeah, I mean, I'll say it. Like, I think that being able to filter is just going to make it more efficient for me to find the people that I am actually looking for.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and then I think it got into a part of the conversation where sometimes there is that blurry line between fetishization and I think that's where it came into play for, people who say or make comments about, only being into black men and things like that. And
yeah, well, so I don't set those filters either. I mean, I do talk to everybody, but I'm very selective in my head in terms of I would like to see that the person that I eventually date be open-minded to like be accepting of the blending community. I think that's a huge thing for me because my ex-husband is Jamaican. And, and we have Kamala Harris in the White House. And for crying out loud, we're in 2020 right now.
21.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. It happened a little
I'm
while.
still in 2020. I can't believe I said that.
Don't worry. We're still in January. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like
very March. It's okay.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I would like them to be blending friendly. And I've seen a lot of attitudes, like backward attitudes, even from guys younger than me that were like 4 or 5 years young. I'm not going to say, well, let me just say, people in their mid-30s to be like, well, it's all cool and, it's all fun to date, but eventually I'm going to marry only a girl from my community. And I was like, wow, like if this is your attitude, I don't want to date you, because tomorrow was to say that our child, even if it's not Blindian, will fall in love with somebody that's from another community. It might be interfaith, intercultural, interracial, and what are you going to say? No? Like, we're not going back, we're not doing that.
Yeah. So I think I got what you were saying, but for me, if I got your point right, if somebody is saying that to me, then uh, I don't know what they're actually looking for, and it's just a matter of time till maybe, like sorry, was it a black person, a black man, or was it
No,
something?
Indian guys that tell me that, well, because I talk to everybody
Okay, yeah,
and I'm trying to assess, how friendly, like how open they are, how open-minded they are to other cultures as well. Because I have friends from all different cultures. I have friends who are, a lot of friends and family who are black. My ex-husband's family is still my family. I have friends who are, gay, lesbian, from the LGBTQ community, and I want my future partner to be open-minded and accepting. And if they say, well, it's fun to date outside your culture, but you end up marrying only somebody from your culture, and even if they're Indian, I say no to them. I block them.
mm,
Because I don't appreciate that kind of a regressive mindset in 2021.
mm.
So does that make sense? Like,
No, it
I
does.
know
No, it
I
does. No,
was
it does. No, it
talking
does.
fast.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I saw a comment that I found interesting. I feel this is a conversation that could be very thoroughly explored. Do we feel that online dating is more advantageous to the Blindian relationships given the obstacles most Blindian couples face?
I don't know. I found my ex-husband, we were at school together. We went to the same school, we graduated, and that's how we knew each other. And I think maybe times were simpler back then. I think online dating as a whole has just been very disappointing. It may, there's a lot of choice. Yes, there's a lot of possibilities, and I have, you know, dated a couple black men on dating apps, talked to them, but it hasn't like really gone somewhere. So I'm not sure if it's just the medium, the platform, that I think it attracts a lot of commitment phobic people, or if it's just people just don't want to like take something seriously on online dating.
Are people openly saying what they're looking for on the profile and stuff? Like, for example, someone might be looking for love while someone could just be looking to hook up, right?
It doesn't even matter, because and there are apps. So for example, Tinder is seen more of as a hookup app, whereas Hinge is seen more of as a real relationship app. But even then on Hinge, I haven't really found people that was serious, like it kind of, the conversations peter out. I don't know if it was COVID. Maybe that's why things, kind of got a little bit weird, or maybe it's just, there's so many people on the apps that just you get into this analysis paralysis kind of
Yeah, 100%.
situation.
100%.
So yeah, I'm not a big believer in online dating. I think it would be better to meet someone organically through common interests. To me, that's honestly how, things probably work better. Maybe for me, I can't speak for other people.
Mm.
For example, if I went volunteered somewhere, you bump into somebody while volunteering, you get to know some, like things like that, like, or hanging out at a library or a bookstore or
Yeah, or the coffee shop.
coffee shop.
Or,
I'm like
or
so old school.
learning how to salsa dance, right? And then
Yeah.
your partner on the Thursday just happened to be fire and had great steps and twirled you around, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you are like this is the one. This is the one.
Yeah. I am so old school.
No, salsa dancing I think is an awesome place, just because like you can like tell off the bat, you're like, I'm not even gonna waste my time with this person. They can't move at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, but no, seriously.
Must dance. This is true.
No, you need to be able to dance. Come on now.
Yes, must dance or learn to. Come on.
Have to. I was yeah, have to. I mean, come on now. I mean,
Yeah.
you might not need to be able. You might not have to be able to know how to salsa, but I mean, you gotta have a little bit of two-stepping, Little bit of
Yes, a
two-step.
rhythm, you know.
Hey, 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 hey. All right, we are about to get out on this note. All right. So
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you, Jonah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. We'll see you again. All right.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye.
One more. I'm just gonna go with one more because I'm actually enjoying this, man. I know it is Friday. Hey,
Hey, Jonah.
how's it going?
It's going good.
Good, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. Sorry, man. I've been a little bit of a MIA, man. I didn't come back to you, man. Sorry, man. I didn't forget about you. You're probably like,
Oh, no.
this damn guy gave me a shout, talked to me for a second, damn ran off.
No. Actually, I think there's a loop because I didn't even realize that you had reached out to me, and I just saw the notification pop up. So I was like, oh, I wasn't sure if you were seeing my comments even. But I
Yeah,
guess the
man.
internet is tripping.
Yeah, man.
But hey, good. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm trying to go do some COVID soccer with some fellow dads in the neighborhood. I live in Brooklyn, so
Okay, you're in New York as
yeah.
well too.
Yes, I am.
Nice,
Yeah.
man. What
Thank
it's what is it? You playing like under floodlights and stuff because it's dark there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a couple of dads. We all have kids around the same age. We bought our own floodlights, and yeah, it's crazy. We did our own stuff. We wear masks, and yeah, we do social distancing beer
Nice, bro.
afterwards.
Nice,
Yeah.
bro.
Thank
So
you.
what about any thoughts on the conversation?
It's beautiful. I love hearing it, and it reminds me a lot of when I first
Can't see your
arrived in
face.
the
Can't
United
see the top of your
States.
head.
Oh,
There
sorry.
you go. Yeah, there we go.
It reminds me a lot about when I first arrived in the United States, which was 2007.
Where were you from? Where
And
were you before that?
I was born in Nigeria, former
Okay,
British
cool.
colony.
Okay.
And I, had this mindset of, I'm brand new, black. Everybody told me that women just gonna throw themselves at me. So I just, hey, I'm here. That's it.
How did that work out for you?
Very bad. Yeah, nobody. Everybody turned me down. Like, nope. And before I knew it, my confidence was going down, and I started doubting myself. I never liked it, and but it would take me a while to realize that I was coming off as aggressive. There were a lot of things I had to check within myself. So that it didn't occur to me. It would take me years to come to that conclusion. And then I joined the Navy, went overseas. I was deployed in Middle East, saw Arab Spring, saw a whole bunch of things happen. I had to start checking my mentals after I got out of the Navy. And it was going through all that I started taking online dating seriously. Before that, I was just using it for NSAs, no strings attached relationships.
Yeah.
And while doing that, I got to meet Latinas. I got to meet people from everywhere. But by then, I was able to zero in on what I want and who connects with me. The chemistry had to be there. So it didn't matter if we met in person or we're just talking online. If I started seeing that there was something that it wouldn't make sense for us to say, yeah, we want to hang out, want to be together. It doesn't matter if you were Indian or not, because I have friends who were Indians, and then they were telling me that they hate Africans, but I'm the cool one, and I'm like, wait, I don't get it.
Sorry. So you had friends, Indian friends. You'd be hanging out with them, and then they would tell you that they dislike that. Well, that they hate Africans, but
hate. That was the word he used, hate. And it was later I started checking that I had a whole bunch of fascists and racists that I was friends with, and I had to start detaching from all of them. So I had to clear myself. I had to do my own, clear my cupboard.
Yes.
Fix myself. And then it started changing my online and my real life appearance. I lost a whole lot of friends. That was fine. But by the time I met my partner now, everybody calls her my wife. She's not from India, but she's from Germany.
Okay.
But we met through Tinder, and I didn't think I'll be in a full-time relationship. I didn't think I'll have a kid. I was just in the mindset that I was going to leave New York in a few months. And I met this woman, and I said, okay, let's have a drink. We had a drink. Ended up being 5 hours conversation. And I was like, damn, man, I like what I'm hearing from you. I just want to talk to you. But before then, a few years ago, if you check my Facebook, all I was saying was Latinas and Arab women are the hottest women in the world. Don't tell me nothing. That's all I said. That's all I was saying. But, you know, the chemistry still had to be there. So it didn't matter if I was meeting you online, if I was meeting you in person. There are things I respect about women or whoever I want to be with, that it has to be there. And until I started recognizing that it didn't matter where the person was from. And if people around me were using a certain language about their partners, I couldn't. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. A woman must be in the kitchen. A woman must do this. A woman must serve a man. And I'm like, yeah. Do I sound like that too when I meet a date? And then somebody from a different culture, she's meeting me. Oh, I want to date a black guy. And then she meets a black guy. And I start sounding like, yeah, you must serve me. You must be my queen, but you must serve me. You must. And then why would she ask for a second date? She's just going to ask for. She's just going to be praying to survive this date and
never speak. Yeah.
So it took me all those I had to start learning all that and realize that the people are different. There's not one box for people from all nationalities, and I'm still on that journey. So all that also plays into the podcast that I have now, which I'm trying to get.
Tell us about the podcast. I'm letting people plug their shows and what they're doing. Tell us about the podcast.
Oh, thank you. It's called White Label American. As I said earlier, I was born in Nigeria. So a lot of my life was designed by the colonialism. And growing up, a lot of things I considered good, professional, were white.
Like what, for example?
Like the white British. So like I had an attraction to journalism, sports. And I used to like be the weird kid who will have the radio tuned to AM, hiding in the corner, like trying to listen to the BBC all the time. But the voices were white voices. So every time I could argue with people in public, I could make cases, and people want to put me on TV. Someone tried to put me on TV back in 2002 in Port Harcourt on the state TV. And I was like, hell no, I don't sound white. That was what I was saying in my mind. I don't sound professional. But the code word was white. And I ran away. I joined the Navy.
It was British, yeah? You don't sound, you're not speaking the Queen's English, yeah?
Yeah, but to me, it's not. It doesn't matter if it was a black, because all I could see was just white people who were the professionals. So that's how the mindset started. And then even when I joined the Navy, I started writing about soccer, football. For the American audience, I call it soccer. And somebody put me on her website, and people started. That's how I made the friends that I have in New York before I moved to New York. And a whole bunch of them were like, "Hey, we like what you write, want to know you, and then they want you on our podcast." And this was 2010. And I'm like, what is that? You want to hear my voice? My voice doesn't sound good. I can only write. I don't want people to hear my voice because my voice doesn't sound sexy. So no. So I ran away. But I did one podcast I appeared on one podcast, and I refused to listen to it. I was so embarrassed. I don't know why, but it was just internally. I just got afraid. But people wanted me to have a YouTube channel and everything. So I just withdrew from the world. But it was part of the mentors. And, and while I was going through all this stuff, at the same time, people from everywhere loved sharing their stories with me. I made friends from every corner of the earth, friends in Pakistan, India, Australia. And people like opening up to me. Even the racists, they open up to me, and I'm like, wow, I did not expect this story, but thank you for sharing this with me. So by the time I got out of the Navy and I'm getting my mentors done, I'd been in depression for some years. I didn't talk to nobody. I was just hiding. But online, you think I'm a perfect person. I'm great. I'm making jokes. But in real life, I'm just drinking, hiding indoors, not talking, not mixing with my neighbors. And my therapist said, you don't sound like this person who should be hiding. People like coming to you. You take a taxi, The taxi driver is from Ukraine. You guys connect over football and you start talking. They share their stories. People like talking to you. So you have a gift. You use it. And I was like, you know what? Okay. I guess you two, you recognize it. Everybody recognizes this stuff. Then a guy comes to me and says, hey, I want to do a podcast with you. You're not like the other Nigerians I know in New York. We should talk about Africa. All I need is equipment. I was like, all right, this podcast has come up in 2016. Let me do it. So, all right, let's start. And I buy the equipment. Unfortunately, he steals the equipment. So I'm like, well, all right, I'll do it on my own. And then another friend was like, hey, you talk to immigrants from everywhere. Why don't you just focus on immigrants? And that's how White Label American began. The name is a play on American. White label in business is, companies do white labeling, taking a label and placing on what already exists. The American picture has always been about white families, white people, the American dream is about whiteness. But I'm here bringing people's stories, the modern immigrant story, and saying, hey, most people, even white people are on the podcast too, but it's more than just whiteness. America is a land for everybody, but there are more stories in here that, don't get told all the time.
Yeah.
So it comes from the people who, this is where they are from. What do they eat? What do you do? And then what are you doing here? And we started officially as a podcast for people in New York. And then the pandemic happened and we had to, evolve. And then there are immigrants everywhere. There are people all over the world. And the goal is to bring down the artificial walls. And what you are doing is also part of bringing down the artificial walls that surround us. So
thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's why I try to talk to everybody and get different people on. So I've gotten immigrants in the UK and people in Germany, people everywhere, because they are immigrants. Their stories are so amazing that we've had. So yeah, that's just a long way of putting it, but yeah.
No, thank you. All right, look, I'm gonna get off of here. But let's connect with me, man. Send me another message, and we'll go ahead and progress those conversations. All right.
All right, I'll hit you up and shout out to everybody.
Thank you,
everybody. Don't give up, man.
Thank you, everybody who joined. Really appreciated that. Really had fun. We will see everybody again. Be safe.